Day 3 begins here, just off the choice between the low road and the high road. Now, because I'm so close, I have an option here. I could go back and do this the easy way, go and do the high road. But I do kind of want to see the Bothy from Under the Skin. Amazing film, filmed here in Scotland. Jonathan Glazer film. So I'm going to go to low road, and I'll tell you about my regrets later. But it is meant to be prettier. You have got that Bothy. So I'm going to hit the Bothy in a few miles. Then it will be the hotel. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. I can't remember the name of the hotel. But we'll hit the hotel. The bar might be open for a quick drink. Coffee, Pepsi Max. And then it's a long slog past another Bothy to Beinglas farm. Inversnaid hotel. There you go. It is definitely a peaceful day today. Nice and dry down here. I'm finding it easy, but I wouldn't have wanted to do it in the wet. That's my word. On the low road. Wild camping wise, there's several pictures for the first kilometre of the low road, maybe first 3/4 of a kilometre. Some of them will take 2, one of them look like it'd even take 4 or 5, but most of them are just for one person really, or one small tent. Might squeeze 2 people in that tent, but that's up to you. I've just at about 3 clicks come across the next camping spot, which again, you could probably squeeze 2 tents on there. I wouldn't want to. I'd probably only squeeze 1, but there you go. So they are here. Oh, and those early ones were all full apart from my one. Right, time for a detour. Rakosh Bothy. Hope I'm not going to wake anyone up. But it is nearly 9 o'clock. I should be up by now. But I definitely want to have a look inside here. And if you haven't seen Under Skin, and you're of an age to watch it, do. It's bizarre, it's terrifying, it's great. Nobody in. So yeah. Saws for collecting wood. It's pretty well set up. Man, I am very tempted to come and stay here one day. The one problem is there's pine martens and mice in the area. Look at all this stuff that's been dumped. Well, some of that might belong to the bike owner actually, but this looks more dumped. Wine and chess. And a Euro-like tent. But yeah, you should always carry things out. You should always use a spade, which comes with a Bothy, to go to the toilet. And you can even have a fire in here. And there's the end of the low road. High roads come back in from above. There's the sign. It's only the first 2 clicks or so that are quite rooty magooty. The sign is out, so beware that if you're coming from the north. To give you an idea, Bothy stop aside, I did the first half of the low road at about 1 mile an hour, and the second half at my usual 3 miles an hour. So it probably averages out to about 2 miles an hour for the whole thing. And it's alright, it's not that bad. I'm sure the bit north of Inversnaid is going to be much trickier later on. But for now, got a nice chill walk on the high road. Lovely. Hey, I've just shown you Bothy, but have I explained them? Of course I haven't, so I better do that. They are little huts and houses that have been turned over to walkers to stay in if they need to act as emergency shelters in real emergencies. But yes, you can stay there for free. You are meant to tidy up. You are meant to take your rubbish with you. You're meant to respect the rules. And all of this wonderfulness is maintained by an amazing group called the Mountain Bothy Association, many of whom troop in to the wildest parts of the country to troop out with all the kind of junk that gets left there, like you just saw. If I hadn't had a completely rammed pack, I'd have taken one of those empty gas canisters for them. But I am rammed today. So yeah, give a little bit of money to MBA if you're going to stay in their places. I've stayed in a Bothy before, up in the Cairngorms, and I appreciate it a lot. Use the Bothies, use the MBA, help the MBA. I'm going to stop talking about this. Wow, what a waterfall. And wow, it's the Inversnaid Hotel, we get to have a rest. Yes. Wow, normal steps. Making my legs feel weird. In America, I think it's known as the Lays entrance. I'm sorry. Yeah, you've got to go through the walkers entrance here. I'm not sure if they're open yet, but let's hope. There's people in there, it's looking promising. Well, I am charging my... Ooh, where are you? There you are. I'm charging my phone, I'm having a coffee, a Pepsi and some crisps. Just having a nice stop. As you can see through the window, the river taxi's coming in, and that can get you out of here if you're struggling. Right, time to try Ben's Bakes before I carry on. Oh, there's midges here. Oh, go away. Right, that's me done at Inversnaid. Had a nice rest. Ate my Ben's Bakes. Ben's Bakes good. Muffin crushed to bits, but otherwise lovely. And you know, I could have spent a bit more money and just had lunch here. Because £9 for the packed lunch compared to whatever it was in there. But I think it probably would have been quite pricey. A lot of people are not very kind in their reviews of the Inversnaid Hotel. And I don't know why. Because it was perfectly fine. They've got rules about where the walkers can go and to stop them messing up the very nice carpets, but I've got no problem with that as a walker. Seems to make perfect sense. I recommend you do stop there, have a cup of coffee or whatever before facing possibly the toughest afternoon. Oh, just beware though, it is quite midgy outside. I came outside just to sort my feet out and stuff before carrying on, and it was surprisingly midgy. Anyway, let's get on with this, see what the horror of the hardest section of the trail really looks like. Bit scared. Wow, I don't think I'm even a mile in. You find me under the cliff that I just showed you, and I know that because I pretty much just climbed it and then climbed back down it. I've seen other people mention this part. I recognise the tree at the bottom as super tough, so I'm hoping that's as bad as it gets, but I've got a feeling it won't be. Wow, they're not lying, it is tough stuff. Whoever kindly put this here after that bit had obviously walked it. How did they get all this in? Blimey. Respect to them. I assume they must have just chopped some trees down. Would have been easier. Well, it is a lovely view to the end of the loch there, but the only worrying thing is I've got to go beyond the end of the loch. I'm saying loch, I'm so tired. Well, it's a lovely view to the end of the loch there, but I've got to go beyond the end of the loch, and that is a long way. hope it stays kind of like this, a rocky, rooty mess not cliff faces again. Okay, I'm at a famous part of the trail, the rock and the tree. It's a tiny gap. Can I get through it with a giant bag on my back? I'll try and carry you. I'll see what we can do. Let's see if we get stuck. Bit stuck. We're through though, we're through. I have mentioned this. No, I haven't. I'm a fat man. Check it out. I'm a fat man from a long line of fat men, and my dad and my granddad both struggled with diabetes later in life, which is part of the reason I'm doing this. Sadly, my dad died last year of complications with his diabetes, which is rubbish because he was only 68. But yeah, doing this sort of thing will help me save it thinner, and that's why I don't eat sugar and try and keep the carbs low. I've not got diabetes myself, but I'd like it to stay that way. I could squeeze through the rock though, so I can't be that fat. Well, after an hour and 15 minutes of struggle, this makes a nice change of pace, even if it is probably full of ticks. Not sure I've talked to you about ticks. If I haven't, got to watch out for them in Scotland, especially in the summer months. They tend to be hiding in the long grass. They want to bite deer and sheep, but they will bite you, and they won't just bite you, they'll bury their heads into you and keep sucking. And you have to be very careful to remove them with tick removers. So the reason being, many of them carry a disease that can make you very, very ill for life, called Lyme disease. And so for most people to get it, an antibiotic course will sort it out, but not for everyone. And it can leave them with lifelong consequences. So whenever you've been walking in Scotland, especially in decently long grass and ferns, have a good look in every crevice. I'm afraid they do love a crevice. I won't go any further than that, but especially underarms and the leg equivalents, and any other crevices you can think of. Have a good look there and make sure that you remove them with the correct implements so the heads don't come off and make you sick. That has been a disgusting report during quite a nice bit of the walk. Lovely Loch Lomond, you're coming to the end! But you're not. I'm aware that there's actually miles left. Here's another key, famous part of this bit of the trek, the ladder. Important thing here is to not let the weight of your pack pull you backwards when you get to the top in relief and pull you all the way back down the steep, I mean it looks like steps, but it's not, it's a ladder. Well, that was another kilometre of fairly brutal scramble. I'm really sorry, I was hoping to show you what the path was like. I wanted to know exactly what the path was like. There's not enough videos about it, but you really can't stop for a second to film it, because you're constantly holding onto your sticks to hold onto yourself. But yeah, it was nowhere near as bad as the bit just north of Inversnaid. It was a little bit trickier than the low road, but yeah, rewarded with this. And a hill to climb. Well, we're just coming to Doonbaya and it's starting to actually rain a bit. I might have to put some waterproofs on, but I might do it in the byre. Let's go and have a nosy. Just in the time it's taken me to turn the camera from one direction to the other, started to slow down a little bit. Let's see how this goes. We'll have a nosy in the byre anyway. So, what's behind this door? Oh, there's some more bits of junk. People really shouldn't leave stuff like this. You brought it, you take it. And that one's basically full. Oh, I'm gonna have a couple of minutes sit, I think. Here's your sleeping area. A couple more sleeping areas over there. This one even has a little bit of water not too far away, unlike Rucoich, where you'd have to make sure you bring enough water for the evening. But yeah, not bad little respite. I went to Norway about 10 years ago and took a ride through the fjords on a little local ferry and got a crazy train down to a village. And that little local ferry dropped a man at a cottage just like that, where he was met by his wife in a wheelchair at the bottom of a mountain, only accessible by the ferry. And that man and whoever lives in that cottage probably have a very similar outlook on life. Certainly the view. But they're very different because whoever lives there has got the A86. It's always good to look backwards. What a view. All the way back. Done all of that. All of that. Got some more to do though. I just stopped to take my rain jacket off. A man ran past me. He ran with a full backpack as big as mine, running this. I am weak. Well, here ends day 3 at Beinglas campsite. I'll probably do a separate video having a little look at the campsite. Wow, what a day. Some of the toughest walking I've ever done. I have never taken, what is it, 7 or 8 hours I've taken to do 13 miles. That's madness. Really was tricky stuff. Not only that, I think my little niggle from yesterday has become a blister. So we'll be checking it out in a minute. But let's go and get booked in. Like and subscribe if you want to see if I got a blister. And the next video will either be a little review of Beinglas or the next day on the West Highland Way. See you next time, kids.